Sometimes you just want to sling bowling balls. Let's get after it. All right. We're going to be talking about a pretty unique gun today, guys. This is a Kimber BP Ten II. This is not really a pistol that you see available very often. It's not your standard Kimber. This is one that they don't make anymore. It's a double stack polymer frame, 45 ACP, 1911. It's got a 5-inch barrel. Originally, I believe these were made back in the Clinton days, so they used to be available with a 10-shot mag, so I don't think they really ever caught on because people will figure, well, if it's a 10-shot mag, I can get a 10-shot mag for a standard single-stack 1911 that feeds just as reliably, and I've got the standard old 1911 that I'm used to. Well, now, you know, you can get 14-shot Medgars for them. I got these, I believe they're Midway, they're like 26 bucks. So you got 15 shots in your hand, ready to go in a 1911. They're a little ugly. Some people don't like the way they look. Some people hate them. Some people love them. There are some things about the gun we're going to talk about as we go, but I'm going to shoot a little bit more. Let me put my ears back on. You can't go wrong with 45 ACP, and we really haven't given the 45 any love in a while, so this is a good chance to do that. This little thing is one sweet shooter, and it's been holding up really well. You can generally pick these pistols up for a pretty good little song, reasonable money. Let's shoot it some more here. Oh yeah, you can't go wrong with 45 ACP. That gun just stacks them right in there. I love it. 14 shots. Here she goes. A little bit snappy. One of the interesting things about the way this gun is designed is the fact that you've got a polymer frame, but you have aluminum rails on the frame itself that the slide rides in. So it's a combination of polymer, aluminum, and then steel. This is stainless steel is what the slide's made out of. You've got a full guide rod, full length guide rod. They made these guns in two different configurations. One of them was kind of like a bull barrel, short commander size gun with like a 4-inch barrel. And then the other one's a full size you see here with a 5-inch barrel. Kimber kind of doesn't really, I don't want to say they don't support the guns anymore. Kimber has excellent customer service. If you have a problem, I'm sure they'll hook you up. But this is one of those guns that anytime I ask Kimber about it, they're kind of, we don't talk about that. I don't know why. It's just something that maybe they're not proud of them, but they did stop making them. At one point, Kimber had like a custom shop, and they were putting out all kind of interesting guns. And from what I understand, this was at one point only available as a custom shop item, and I think they brought in a limited amount of these double stacked frames from somewhere. Now, Charles Daly now is bringing in like a double stacked polymer frame 1911 that looks suspiciously a lot like this gun. But this is a Kimber, so this is a much earlier gun. It's not a Charles Daly. And in many circles, the kind of people you talk to, generally they'll tell you that this gun is of a much higher quality than the newer Charles Daly, although the Charles Daly 1911s are excellent guns. There's nothing to complain about there. I kind of picked this gun up on a whim. I thought we'd talk about it and do a review. It seems to be holding up really well. I mean, although the slide rides on aluminum, you keep it lubricated well. I don't really see it being an issue shooting a lot of rounds through it. I've probably fired about 1,200 rounds through this gun since I've had it. I've been shooting the ever-loving crap out of it. Something I eventually want to do is maybe look at getting a threaded barrel for it. That's something we didn't have in time, because that would be a really cool suppressor host, a nice lightweight polymer frame gun. There's another gun out right now that shares the construction of this gun very closely. Not exactly this gun per se, but you look at the Sphinx SPD. We did a video on that particular gun. It's a very high quality CZ75. I hate to say copy. It's really more of an improvement of the CZ75. And that gun uses a combination of polymer, aluminum, and steel to allow for some weight savings. Compared to something like a Para, I've shot some of the Paras before, and Para makes an awesome double stack 1911 that are very hard to beat. Magazines are going to be a little bit more on the expensive side than these Metgars are right now. And I would say the Recoil Impulse on the double stack paras is maybe just a little bit nicer than this particular gun. This does have a very snappy recoil impulse. But just like most Kimbers, you've got forward and rearward cocking serrations, rearly opposed, so you can grab and cock the gun from either side of the slide if you want. You've got Novak cuts already put on the gun. The Novak combat sights that are on it are very simple, no dots, just real simple, blacked out, serrated Novak sights. You've got pretty much a checkered grip right there on the front and rear. The mainspring housing assembly, which would, basically right here, is checkered. The beaver tail is not checkered. It does have a mildly extended beaver tail. And you've got just a single, safety lever on the left side of the gun. Doesn't have an ambidextrous safety, although it does look like there's possibly, the frame looks like it could probably handle it in terms of the way the cuts are. You could probably add an ambidextrous safety if you wanted to. It does have an internal extractor. There are a couple of these guns out there that are the earlier models that have external extractors, and from everything I've read about them, the information on these is extremely limited, by the way, but from everything I've read, every indication I've seen is that if you find one with the external extractor, maybe stay away from it. The internal extractors seem to run a lot better. I've got quite a few rounds for this gun, and knock on wood, I've never had a single malfunction out of it. Let's pick up the pace and drill some targets here. Those watermelons are looking lonely. Let's see what some 45 ball will do to them. Uh-oh, I didn't pick up a round. Here I am bragging about the lack of malfunctions, and then I get a malfunction. That's how it works. You turn the camera on, you get a malfunction. I'm going to chalk that up to being my fault. Poked a hole right through that watermelon, just zipped right through them. That's the thing about ball, the penetrating capabilities, it'll definitely punch right through things. Let's try a soda. Well, okay. Man, that's just great. Let's hit that watermelon some more. Nothing like 45 ACP, guys. Gotta love it. Let's try a headshot here. Right over the top of his head. All right, I got one more mag. Let's have a little fun here. Yeah, I think that malfunction, what happened, I had a full mag and a closed slide, and I think I didn't seat the mag quite hard enough, and that round just acted like it didn't want to chamber. I'm gonna chalk that one up to my fault. It happens. I will say the grip on this is mildly aggressive. It is a polymer frame gun. It does have some lightweight going on, so it's definitely not for the faint of heart. It is a lightweight 45. It reminds me very, very much of the Recoil Impulse on like an FNX. So if you ever shot one, it's very similar. This is kind of the poor man's FNX because you can pick these things up for about 500 bucks. So I'm pretty sure people are gonna go trying to find them now. But a 15 shot 45 for 500 bucks. I wish Kimber would make this gun again. I think people would buy them. Not bad. Right in the head. Right over his shoulder. All right, gun's not shooting bad. Let's try back there at 100. See if we can connect. It lobs those suckers right in there. I tell you, I've always been a big fan of 45 ACP. One of the main carry guns that I try to carry on a regular basis is one of the 45 compact Smith & Wesson M&Ps. Great gun. I've always been a big fan of it. This grip will kind of tear into your hand a bit, but you know what? We're not going to cry about it because 45 ACP stops anything in its path. I love this cartridge. This gun has generally been running like a top. One thing that I will mention about the finish on this particular gun, and I would imagine it's probably going to be apparent in most all of the BP 10s you're going to see out there, is it is a stainless slide, but I have experienced a good bit of rusting on this slide. It's like a black oxide finish over stainless that they put on these, and I've still experienced a good bit of rust. So something that I'm probably going to end up doing, a lot of the controls on this particular pistol are well worn and kind of ugly. I might end up sending this gun off to Robar and get it MP3 plussed, and then you got you a gun you can just throw in the dishwasher and, you know, it ain't no big deal. So we'll see. We do have a few bits of defensive ammo here. I've got, tell you what, while I'm talking, I'll just load them up and shoot them. I've got some Lehigh, actually these are Lehigh projectiles, but it's Underwood Extreme Defense. And we're going to see if we can pop a few of these watermelons and soda bottles with these particular rounds here. And see how we can do there. This bullet kind of supposed to penetrate a lot like ball, but have the expansion and cavitation that you're going to get out of a hollow point round. It's got flutes on the side of the bullet that are cut to have like a hydraulic effect that causes displacement, just like the physical displacement of a hollow point would do. Okay, so that's what this particular round is designed to do. Let's try the same shot. You saw the ball rounds are just going right through the watermelon. Let's hit them with these, and we'll hit a few sodas, see how they work. And also I want to see how they feed through this gun. I generally haven't been feeding this thing a ton of hollow points, and that's one thing about a 1911 that people generally complain about, is some of them are a little bit picky about what shape of bullet they'll feed and what type of hollow point ammunition they'll feed reliably. That's the nice thing about this Underwood Extreme Defense. It is a lightweight. It's 120 grains, so it's on the light side for a 45, but the shape of the bullet, it feeds through any gun you possibly can put it in, and I think this is definitely going to be the case with this gun too. All right, let's hit that big fat watermelon there and see what he does. Definitely a bigger hole. All right, let's try us a couple of more watermelons there and then a soda or two. Now, yeah, look at that. All right. Oh, I see you right there. You're not getting away from me that easy. Oh, just to the right. Man, you can't deny giant bowling balls going down range. But guys, that was about half the weight of your typical nominal weight of a 45 ACP. This ball ammunition we're running from Federal here, what we've been running the entire time, that's a 230 grain ball, which is your nominal weight for a 45. That 120 grain is making a mess like it's 230 grain, which is awesome. We're going to reset the range, repaint targets. I'm going to let Chad have a go. He has become kind of a convert of this particular gun, so I think he's definitely going to immensely enjoy shooting this particular Kimber here. So let's do that.
All right, guys. My turn on this really cool gun. It's pretty unique. I mean, a polymer frame double stack 1911 is not something you see every day. And we were discussing it off camera, but I actually have my FNX 45 Tactical here, and I went out and picked one of these things up after we did the recent video on Eric's gun that he's had for a few years. Been shooting the crap out of this thing, and you know, being polymer framed 45, nearly the same capacity, one extra shot in the FNX, but the weight, I have to say the Kimber is a little bit lighter weight. I'll plug the actual numbers in so you guys can compare, but you got a much fatter slide on the FNX. This is a real slimline slide like you see on a regular 1911. It's just the grip is a little bit larger, but it's very comfortable. Eric finds it to be a little bit too aggressive, but I actually find the grip on the FNX to be a little bit more aggressive, just in my personal opinion. But this gun does shoot exceptionally well. I've only fired it a little bit, and I don't even own a 1911. I know, tar and feather me now. I mean, it's just, I've never been a huge fan of the guns, but I can get around something like this. Put a threaded barrel on it, good suppressor host. I mean, that's right up my alley. But let's take a few shots and see what we can do here. We've got a couple of cantaloupes out here, and then we also have some 3-liter sodas that have been sprouting in our range here, so we're gonna have to get rid of those. Let's take a few shots at steel on some of our sodas and cantaloupes and see what this big old bowling ball will do to it. Take out that 3-liter right there, just to the left. Look at that. That ball is just going right through there. Oh yeah. High C. That ball just sails right through anything that you put in front of it. It's just so crazy. Oh yeah. God dang. You know, being so light, this thing does have a pretty snappy recoil impulse, but certainly manageable, no doubt about it. All right, take some shots at steel here. Take another headshot there. Oh yeah. It stacks them right in there for the most part. I'm not really taking my time on this, but uh-oh. My grip on the gun needs to be adjusted slightly. I think I'm touching that slide release there and pushing it up when the slide recoils back. Oh yeah. Certainly have to make sure your grip is right on this little lightweight thing. Uh-oh. There we go. Having a couple of minor feeding issues here. Gopher is slightly eluding me. There we go. Now I know that's not my grip on the gun there. I'm not sure what's going on. Might be a couple of springs that need to be replaced in there. I'm not really sure, but having a couple of very minor issues. Boy, that 6-inch popper, boy, that 45. Oh man, so much power in that round. All right, let's take a few long range shots and we'll take out our cantaloupes. There we go. Puts them right in there. Crazy thing is that round's moving so slow, you can literally see it flying in. I mean, it's nuts. All right, cantaloupe, that's a tiny target. Let's see. It put a hole right through the middle of the thing. Holy crap. Just a little high. The camera's on. Issues come out with the guns. Look at that mess. That ball is just putting holes right through there. Well, let this thing cool off a little bit, let Eric have another go, and hopefully there's nothing wrong with the firearm itself. I really do like this gun, but it is older. Sometimes with older used guns, you may have to replace a couple of components in there just to make sure everything is going to function 110%, but you know, that's why we do these type of videos, take the guns out and shoot the crap out of them and just see what happens. But let's get Eric back on this thing and finish this video out.
All right, I'm gonna pop a few more shots with the BP 10. Little gun's running not too bad. Chad was having a few issues. I'm gonna see if I can replicate those potential issues. Gun's not been running terribly bad. Chad's not shooting it too bad considering he doesn't have a ton of trigger time behind this particular gun. I'm gonna probably take a few slow fire groups, just kind of see what we can get out of this thing. We're just running 230 grain Federal ball ammunition. I pulled that shot, just like the one before it. All right, let's see if I can get my crap together and actually shoot a real group here. Gun's pretty accurate, I mean, considering. Not too bad. Pretty respectable accuracy. I mean, in terms of practical accuracy. I can definitely see this being a good carry gun if you want a nice lightweight 1911 to carry. All right, I'm gonna pick up the pace and shoot a few things here. He left me a few sodas to shoot. Well, well, you can't go wrong with 45 ACP. I'm gonna pick up the pace here because we're about to get rained on here. Just shoot a few things for you. Not bad, we got another soda over there. Not bad, and then another one. That round just zips right through them. It's crazy, the penetrating capabilities of 45 ACP. Not bad. Let's launch a few in at long range back there. Just over the top. You can just see those things sailing in there like little bowling balls, like little bowling ball comets, just going down range. All righty. I had the slide lock back on me too. Not too shabby there. Definitely takes a little bit of getting used to. I'm gonna try a somewhat rapid fire group there. You know, slow fire, the gun's doing pretty reasonably good job. I'm about 20 yards away, you know, not bad. Oh yeah. There's nothing wrong with slinging big old pieces of 45 ACP at things. That's just something about a big old caliber ball moving nice and slow going down range and just smacking into things that you can't deny. And this is an obscure gun that you don't really see every day. I wanted to get it out and kind of show it to you guys, and it's something, you know, we like to showcase oddball guns from time to time, and this is one that you definitely are not going to encounter very often. I would strongly encourage anybody to take one out and shoot it when you get the opportunity. I'm certainly not saying you should run out and buy one right this minute or anything like that, but they're certainly neat guns. They're an interesting part of Kimber's history as a company, and a lot of people don't know that Kimber's been around a long time. And at one point, you know, they failed back in the day and then kind of regained their ground and then started up again. But you know, Kimber for a long time was known for making awesome rifles as well, and they still make some really awesome rifles. Everybody knows Kimber because of 1911s, but many people don't know their rifle quality is definitely second to none. I mean, they do some really awesome rifles as well. So thank you for watching today's video. We had a ton of fun making it today. Hopefully you can tell by the big mess behind me here. But thanks again. We have many more videos on the way. Make sure you were signed up for our email list. We have a ton of awesome updates and little tips and tricks and little things that we put out for you guys. Make sure you're on the email list so you can stay in touch with us. We also syndicate cool videos and little funny things that we find all the time. So make sure you're signed up for that. Thank you for the support. We'll catch you next time. That is one cool gun. Thanks.